Well, everyone, we just wrapped up another session of networking in nature down here in the Botanic Gardens. John Kugel here, and I'm joined today by three incredible people. We've got Christie Gazal from Taronga, we have Dr. Alex Carthey from ReHabitat, and we have Sally Giblin from
Be the Future.
Be the Future, thank you. I was about to get that wrong.
It wasn't called Be the Change, it's fine.
Be the Future. And today's session, we had a great catch-up all around innovation, and particularly in the environmental and sustainability space. But within that, there's a lot of discussion and insights around the entrepreneurial journey, the founder's journey, pursuing dreams, making things happen, thinking differently, pivoting, adapting, so many different conversations, but all tied back to having an impact on the environment. So I thought we could just have a very quick reflection on today's discussion, which was really, really fascinating. Christie, you kicked it off. You introduced us to what Hatch was all about, so it'd be great if you'd be able to relay that, but also just recap your point that you made around commercialism versus purpose and that creative tension.
Yeah, so Hatch is an accelerator program for early stage startups with a conservation, sustainability or biodiversity focus. And I sort of was focusing on this idea of commercializing impact and how founders come onto the program and somewhat have a tension between their purpose, their core purpose and their why, and this amazing innovation they've created for the environment, but also how to make that commercial and to sell it, and they sometimes feel like that's at odds with their personal objective, which is just to do good in the world. And we were sort of just saying that there doesn't really need to be that tension. You can commercialize impact and still have an amazing effect on the environment and the people that you're interacting with.
And I think there were so many examples you shared, and the proof is in the pudding, because there are more and more examples of successful ventures that are coming out to create an impact, but in doing so understanding that creating a commercial and sustainable model around that is ultimately the thing that's going to let it scale and have the most impact in the world. So then we moved to Dr. Alex Carthey from ReHabitat and heard about your journey, but the part that I wonder if you'd be able to just share and reflect upon, the take home for me was you talked about this concept of learning by doing. So can you just give us an insight into your journey and how that factored in for you?
Yeah, sure. So I came through the Hatch program and it really shifted my mindset away from my science background, which has been about really collecting a lot of evidence before you go and take action. And coming through the Hatch program, one of the biggest takeaways for me was that if you have a really good idea and a really good reason to think it should work, you can just get out there and make it happen and learn by doing. See what happens when you put it out, take away information from that, and then go out and have another try. And just to add a little bit on the topic of impact versus financial sustainability, I think another thing I really learned from Hatch was that you've got to reframe that and think about if you are able to make something financially sustainable, that puts you in a position to have a whole lot more impact than if you didn't. So it's really about empowering your ability to make impact with a financial basis.
Yeah, it was such a good example, and it then leads on to another piece of the puzzle, which is being open and being flexible and adaptable as your journey continues and as you take things out into the world. And sometimes things don't go exactly the way you expect, and sometimes it's through a pivot or a change of approach that unlocks new opportunities to still actually achieve the purpose. And I think, Sally, that dovetailed into your story and your messaging. So just wondering if you'd be able to recap what were some of those pivotal changes that you went through, and what was your thinking through that process?
So I think the core thing for us is that our mission has always stayed the same. So I'm one of the co-founders of Be the Future, and we're all about empowering and inspiring people to help be part of creating that better future. And when we started the Hatch program, that was very much around books and games for young kids, and through a whole lot of testing, experimentation and things that came up, we then have shifted entirely to now delivering these very interactive climate solutions experiences. So our mission has stayed the same, but then we've very much changed, the who, the what, and the how of what we're doing. And I think, to your point, Alex, making a lot more impact because of that, and have a much stronger path towards creating that financial sustainability and the bigger impact alongside as well.
So good. So much inspiration. I hope that's been valuable for anyone watching, and if this whole concept of tackling complex environmental challenges, thinking innovatively and being adaptive and coming up with new solutions resonates with you, then on the 19th of June, please join us over at Taronga Zoo for the Hatch Accelerator Pitch Night, where this current year's cohort is going to be presenting their projects and their progress. So that's 19th of June. Share a link with this post. And we hope to see you down here at Networking in Nature one day soon. So thank you so much.